Let us begin in hero pose on our mats. Landing on our knees gently, allowing our shoulders to relax. And notice your breath without any judgment here. And slowly begin to create an interlace gently behind your back. You can lift your head back. You can nod it forward. Slowly begin to create circles backwards and create circles forward. Gently release the interlace and begin to float to the top of your mat into tabletop. Stacking our shoulders over our wrist and our hips over our knees. Our feet are flat on the mat. And then we'll move into 6 rounds of cat-cow, where we will dome the spine and protract our shoulders. Inhale, broaden for cow. Exhale, take our gaze backwards for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale. See if you can dome your spine just a little bit more for cat. Deepen for cow. Right? Then we will spike up on our toes and lift our knees 1 inch above the ground for beast pose. And we'll exhale into downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out your feet and your calves. Ground through the triads of your hands and allow your biceps to be below your ears. You can stack hip over hip for scorpion dog, if that's in your practice. Ensuring you're creating symmetry throughout the body. And then landing both feet back onto the mat, we'll begin to tiptoe very slowly to the tops of our mat. And we'll just hang here. We'll keep a little bit of a water bend within our knees. And we'll place our hands underneath our feet, since we'll be working a lot of our upper body today for Padahastasana. So allow your head to just hang. And slowly release. We'll then begin to rise up vertebrae by vertebrae. With our head being the last to raise in mountain pose. Circle sweep our arms. Bring our hands to heart center. And then we will begin 3 rounds of sun A. So circle sweeping our arms once more. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to shin, spine is in neutral. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank. Press forward 2 inches. Chaturanga your arms. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 times, once more. Inhale, rise to your toes. Exhale, step, hop, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, surrender, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to your toes. Exhale, step, hop, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take 2 deep cleansing breaths together before we move on to our flow. Inhale. Exhale, open mouth, sigh it out. Inhale. Exhale, open mouth, sigh it out. Inhale, lift. 3-legged dog. Right foot is flexed, left foot is on the mat. And then step it through for low runner's lunge. Keeping the left foot spiked at a 90-degree bend in your right leg. Go ahead and grab your dumbbells or whatever you are using as your dumbbells, and we will rise up into a high crescent. We will lift up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Placing the dumbbells back onto the mat, place your right foot back into plank and then transition back into downward facing dog. Lift up the left leg now. Left leg is flat, and then we'll bring it through for low runner's lunge. Keeping that right foot spiked now, we'll grab our dumbbells slowly, and we'll do the same thing on this side. So lift up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Place dumbbells back onto the mat, and we'll step back into plank, or you can also drop to your knees here, whichever works for you. Ensure your dumbbells are closer by to you, because we'll transition into a dumbbell row. And so you can keep your knees flat on the ground, and what we'll do with the right, ensuring our shoulder is stacked over our wrist, we will then begin to lift up with the dumbbell. For 6, we'll count down. We will lift up and lower. Lift up and lower. We'll do that for a count of 6. I'll demo the full plank. And so with the plank, ensuring your shoulders are stacked over your wrist and your ankles stacked over your toes, still keeping that parallel shape. Taking that dumbbell and still keeping that parallel shape with your body, you can widen your stance. So 6, 5, and we'll lower. And same on the other side. Okay, moving forward for dumbbell rows. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do the same on the other side now. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can lower to our knees for a little up dog, just to reset. And then we will go back into tabletop, and we will lift up on our knees here for beast pose, and ensuring the dumbbell is like close by, because we will be essentially alternating the dumbbell on each side. So lifting up on our toes here, so grabbing back, placing our palm, grabbing with the opposite hand, placing our palm back. We'll do that for 6 rounds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll then adjust the plank back and move into our side plank. So we can do the side plank a couple different ways. So you can do a variation of the side plank here with keeping your right leg on the mat and your left leg extended and having a dumbbell close by. What we'll do is we'll start on the ground with our dumbbell and then we will slowly rise up. Slowly rise up, and that will come from like our torso. You can also place your palm, this is the second variation, your forearm onto the mat and stack feet over feet and keeping your obliques engaged. Still rise up here. If you'd like more of a challenge, you can actually stack up over your wrist with your hand and keeping the same feet variation from the second one that we just showed, you can also lift up here. We'll have 6 on each side. I will go ahead and do the forearm variation. So our obliques are engaged. We will take our dumbbell, keeping our hips as still as possible. We'll lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lower on the mat. We will then do the same thing on the left side. I'm just alternating my sides so my back isn't faced to you all. For the left side now, keeping your shoulder over your elbow and your forearm flat on the mat, stacking feet over feet and keeping your obliques engaged, whichever variation you're taking. We'll then lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Safely lower, and you all can get a drink of water. We will now move into our restorative section of the class. Ensuring your dumbbells are out the way, we will then get back on our mats here and bring ourselves into a brief child's pose, bringing our big toes to touch and nestling our torso in between our thighs. Inhale, then exhale. Trying to slow down the breathing. Inhale, exhale. We'll float forward into tabletop and we will stack our wrist below our shoulders and we will lift up with our right palm and nestle it underneath our left for twisted puppy. We'll just hold here for the next 6 breaths. And release. And then take that right arm up once more to counteract that stretch and place it back on the mat. Lift up with the left palm now and nestle it underneath the right. We'll just hold. And release. Then we will lie on our backs with our feet on the mat and having them hips width distance apart, allowing your shoulders to melt onto the mat and lie flat. And take your palms underneath your seat and lift slowly up here for a supportive bridge. I'll hold here for the next 8 breaths. And slowly lower without slingshotting. We'll then begin to extend our legs onto our mat and let our hands and fingers and shoulders begin to fall where they may lay. Unfurl your brow and release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Allow your breaths to deepen for Shavasana. Slowly begin to awaken your limbs. Create circles with your ankles and your wrists. Bring back movement to your shoulders and your head and neck. Place your feet back onto the mat. Slowly begin to fall over to your favorite side in fetal position. Press yourself upwards onto the mat. Circle sweep our arms. Bring them to heart center. The highest good in me honors, sees, and believes in the highest good in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for flowing with me for Summer Sculpt today for upper body and back. I'm sure it was challenging. It was definitely challenging for me. I am very, very hot, so it was definitely a workout. So I hope you all enjoyed this flow for your yoga practice today. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you do not miss out on the next flow for our Summer Sculpt series. We'll be focusing on core sculpt for the next flow for our next Sunday upload. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.